Let's dive into a feeling I think we all know, maybe a little too well. It's that deep, almost primal discomfort with silence. We're going to explore why a quiet room can feel so incredibly loud, and what that reveals about the parts of ourselves we try to keep locked away.
Seriously, think about it for a second. The moment a conversation lulls, or a song ends on your playlist, what's that first immediate impulse? Is it to grab your phone? To flick on the TV? To do, well, anything to fill that void? If so, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's this weird feeling like stillness itself is some kind of punishment.
And look, you're not alone in this. This is practically a universal human experience now. It's that antsy, restless energy that pops up the second we're left alone with our own thoughts. It's why we throw on a podcast just to wash the dishes, or why we find ourselves endlessly scrolling while waiting for the bus. We are constantly running, but the real question is, what are we running from?
So what's going on here? Well, this isn't just some simple bad habit. It's actually something we've trained ourselves to do. We have, quite literally, wired our brains to fear stillness, teaching ourselves over and over that quiet is something to be avoided at all costs. I mean, think about the logic we've built for ourselves. On one hand, you have stillness, which we frame as this total negative. It's absence, it's emptiness. It feels like something is wrong. But then, on the other hand, we have distraction, and that becomes our shield. We use noise, we use connection, we use the constant hum of activity as a kind of safety blanket to protect us from that feeling of emptiness.
And this brings us right to the heart of the matter. The real reason we can't just sit still has nothing to do with being bored. It's all about who we might meet if we actually do. And that brings us to a brilliant concept from the psychoanalyst Carl Jung, something he called the shadow.
So, what is the Jungian shadow? Well, you can think of it as the psychic closet, where we shove everything we don't like about ourselves. It's our insecurities, our deepest regrets, those desires or personality traits we've decided are unacceptable. Now, this stuff isn't necessarily evil, not at all, but it's the side of us we'd really rather not look at, not even in private. And boom, that's the connection. Our fear of silence isn't a fear of nothing, it's a fear of something. When all the external distractions fade away, all that internal noise gets a whole lot louder. And in that quiet, we risk bumping right into the very things we've spent our entire lives trying to outrun. That's where the discomfort really comes from. Okay, so if we're all just running from our own shadow, what's the alternative? Well, it's not about running faster. It's about a massive shift in perspective, about completely reframing what silence and stillness actually are. Just let that question hang in the air for a moment. Our whole lives, we've treated silence like it's a vacuum, like it's a void that desperately needs to be filled with something, anything. But what if that entire assumption is just wrong? What if, instead of being empty, that quiet space is actually full? This is such a critical turning point. The focus shifts from what's missing to what's already there, just waiting for us to finally pay attention. And this right here is the core insight. Stillness isn't empty space. It's the space where everything we've pushed down finally has some room to breathe. Our anxieties, our secret hopes, our shadow self, it's all in there. The quiet isn't the enemy. It's just the arena where we can finally meet ourselves, the whole picture. You know, once you really get this, the whole game changes. The goal is no longer about finding better and better distractions. It's about finding the courage to just stop running. And when you do that, something pretty incredible starts to happen. You discover a completely different kind of freedom. Real freedom isn't about having the time or money to do whatever you want. It's an internal state. It's that profound moment of peace when you can finally sit with yourself, shadow and all, and feel absolutely no compulsion to escape. It's the simple, powerful ability to just be, without that frantic, desperate need to always be doing something. And let's be super clear about this. This isn't about ditching your life and becoming a hermit in the mountains. Your life can be busy, it can be loud, it can be totally full of action. The real goal is to cultivate a quiet mind in the middle of all of it, a mind that isn't constantly at war with itself. It's about building an inner anchor, a sense of calm that you can always come back to, no matter how chaotic the outside world gets. So, I'll leave you with this to think about. The next time you feel that itch, that urge to fill the silence, just pause and ask yourself, what am I trying to avoid right now? What part of my shadow is trying to get my attention? Because what your stillness is hiding, that might just be the very thing you need to find.